We know that captive Africans were branded at Bunce Island and inspected like cattle. Not knowing what was going to happen to them, the Africans feared that the Europeans were going to eat them. Just imagine being captured, held in bondage at Bunce Island before you were placed on a slave ship for another horrifying experience that ended with your arrival in a new land where your captivity continued until the day you died. As a boy growing up in Charleston, I'd never heard about Bunce Island. I wasn't familiar with the horrors of slavery, frankly. But I was very familiar with the cultural contributions that Africans brought to America, even though I did not know of its origins. The African retentions were part of my daily life as a child. The coiled baskets were very, very visible in Charleston. Those baskets today we call sweetgrass baskets. Women carried bundles, heavy bundles on their heads. Men fished with cast nets. And of course, the Gull language, which Lorenzo Turner showed was influenced by African languages, was very much part of our experience. And when I was a student, I didn't know that I had an accent until I came to Columbia, and people here called me Geechee, Gull. In fact, if you listen to Adrian talk, you can hear some of that. She's my little Geechee girl. I visited Bunce Island 3 times out of the 6 trips that I made to Sierra Leone between 1995 and 2005. To satisfy my journalistic curiosity about the African retentions or the African images of my childhood, I applied for a fellowship through the National Association of Black Journalists in 1995, the Ethel Payne Fellowship. And I traveled to Sierra Leone. And that's when I first met Joe Powell. On my first trip there, I wanted to write about the coiled basket relationship, the relationship between the coiled baskets of Low Country, South Carolina, and the coiled basket tradition of Sierra Leone. And in 1997, I returned to do another story. That story was the story of the Mende funeral song. If you've seen the documentary, The Language of Crying, you're familiar with this story. It is the story of 2 women, Mary Moran of Harris Neck, Georgia, and Bengu Diakati of Senegal, Angola, near the Liberian border in the eastern province. These 2 women share a Mende funeral song. And I won't go into the details of the song because it is quite a very detailed, long, and rich story. But that was an important story for me to cover because the Mende funeral song is the